Hello, everyone. So, let me start by introducing you to the kind of projects that we deal with at the Red Sea Development Company. So, we have around 40 BIM 360 projects created so far, around 187 companies that we deal with, 4,502 users to be precise, 5,286 BIM models created so far, 62,000 drawings, and 48,000 issues. Imagine the amount of planning and coordination needed to manage these projects, not just on the building level, but also on the infrastructural level that is connecting all these projects, not just on the land, but also on the island as well as underwater. So the Red Sea project was born out of Vision 2030 to put Saudi Arabia on the global tourism map. It is expected to create up to 70,000 new jobs and to contribute up to 22 billion riyals to nation's GDP. Geographically, we are located somewhere here, which is on the west coast of Saudi Arabia. So we are trying to create an exquisite luxury destination, setting new standards in sustainable development and advanced construction technology. We have 13 programs and 3,000 built and infrastructural assets in the phase one itself. Our BIM strategy has been internationally recognized, and in 2021, our project teams were awarded ISO 19650 Kite Mark certification. A little bit about myself. I'm Himani Shah. I am an architect with over 8 years of experience in BIM implementation and management on major building and infrastructural projects in Middle East. I have done bachelor's in architecture, and after that I did MBA in operations management, and currently I'm pursuing MSc in building information modeling and management from Oxford Brookes. At the Red Sea Development Company, I support the development and implementation of BIM as a part of digital delivery team. Um, my journey in the industry so far, I started my journey with working for BIM consultancy. Then I moved to contractor side of it, then subcontractors, then design consultancy, and now client. The reason I'm telling you this is because all these different types of organizations struggle in adopting BIM on a certain level. And in today's presentation, I will try my best to share my observations with you that might help in your BIM adoption process. So, today, I will share my point of view on the influence of BIM on project management and design process. So, why are we focusing on project management so much? So, to understand the hierarchy of management in any organization, um, so it starts with the top management defining the principles, values, and mindset of an organization. And these flow through the bottom workforce from the processes, standards, and systems that are created. And the outcomes are defined on the basis of that. what does this mean when it comes to BIM adoption? So when so there are basically two approaches that organizations take in BIM adoption. One is the bottoms up approach, in which you try to focus on the process level directly and try to change your systems and standards in line with the BIM and try to implement BIM on that level. Now, this will not always work because eventually the bureaucracy will crush it. If this vision is not communicated to the top management, then it will not be long lasting. Same is the other way around. If the top management tries to implement BIM, they might have a vision in place, but the thing is that they don't understand the technical aspects of it. They don't understand the time and budget required. So they are not able to give enough space to the teams to experiment and even fail sometimes. So this approach also might not always work when it comes to adopting BIM. So the question is which approach to adopt in this case? So the answer to that would be we'll have to come up with a collaborative approach in which both the top management and the bottom management are working together to get the most value out of a BIM model. And the overall goal, the end goal of an organization, shouldn't be just to implement BIM successfully on a project, because that is like a short term goal. But if the organization orients its principles towards getting the most value out of BIM, then it will be a long lasting process, and it will be in long term, uh, it will result into successful implementation of BIM, because you are not focusing on that as an end goal, but you are focusing on orienting your processes towards getting the most value out of BIM. Now, why does project manager play a key role in implementing BIM in this collaborative approach that we are talking about? Because the project manager lies at the center of any organization. And by center, I don't mean this center, but I mean at this level. So for collaborative approach, um, with project management at the center, it will look something like this, in which project manager is trying to use their leadership skill to communicate the vision from the top management to the bottom teams, and he is also trying to communicate the issues and the feedbacks coming from the bottom team to the top management. So, the reason why project management is in a position to do this is, first of all, the skills that any project manager possesses. So, this is a screenshot from the PMO's book. So, it shows the PMI's talent triangle. So, ideally, any project manager role, anyone who is sitting at that role should possess these three skills: management skills, technical skills, and leadership skills. And these three skills are very crucial in adopting any new technology, not just BIM. And as you can see, these three skills also overlaps with the skills that are required for a BIM manager. So usually, the project manager has two way of approaching a project. So the project management methods includes the traditional project management method, which is a waterfall method, um, which is like which is more linear and sequential in nature. And the other type of method is the agile way of working. Uh, and BIM introduces this agile way of working to the project management process. Um, and it is more flexible and more preferred approach in compared to the traditional one. So how does this work? So BIM introduces an iterative framework to project management using agile principles that results into improved project performance, which means that so what are agile principles? Um, it means that the process needs to be flexible and iterative. There should be increased transparency, reduced risk, and it promotes collaborative way of working. So if we overlap the BIM framework with the current project management and design milestones, then it will look something like this. So in this case, the design option that you have is not discarded at any given stage. Rather than that, it is developed and coordinated and analyzed. So at each given stage. So basically, it is developed across stages. So rather than discarding the model and drawings, you are continuously developing it up till the construction stage. So it results into less redundancy and more coordinated design at the end. But the true value of BIM can only be harnessed if it is driven by the design and project management teams. Why? Because BIM is more data driven. So the data that you get from BIM, and I love this screenshot from the RICS's project management uh, BIM for project management article. So basically, what they are trying to say is the data that you get from BIM um, helps the project managers make decisions, and those decisions in turn drives the BIM process. To understand this a little bit more, basically, when you try to approach BIM, instead of um, when you try to adopt BIM, instead of creating new processes and standards from scratch, you should try to overlap that with the existing ones, and you should try to contribute to the existing processes that exist in the organization. Uh, the reason behind doing that is that this way you will be able to share knowledge and engage the teams. You will be able to contribute to their existing processes, empowering them to uh, make better decisions at any given time on the project. Now, just to see how BIM can contribute to project managers' role and responsibilities. As you can see that the BIM execution plan and project management plan have overlaps a lot. So, all the stages, the parts that they have is initiation, planning, execution, controlling, and monitoring, and closure. This overlaps a lot with the BIM execution plan, which means that at all these stages, you can get the data out of the BIM model and the BIM processes and feed that data into the project management processes to help them make better decisions. And then comes the collaboration and communication aspect of it. So, using, so we know that BIM promotes the collaborative way of working, and it provides the technology and tools which are necessary for it. And with the latest ISO 19650 standards, we have the processes in place to uh, do that as well. So at Red Sea, the benefits ha- that we realized of using the common data environment. We use BIM 360, but the benefits that we got out of using that is that it helped us to create the single source of truth, and it helped us to get the right information at the right time, and with creating the accountability of the issues that we are creating. And it helped us overall reduce the cost and technology management by limiting number of tools and resources and processes and training required to implement that, which means that for any designer in our organization, or for anyone from any team, we don't have to install any BIM software in their computer. They don't have to have Revit, they don't have to have Navisworks in order to visualize the model at any given point of time. They can just open it on BIM 360 and walk through the model and create issues, and share it with consultants, assign issues to consultants directly. So basically, um, we are having the design process, the issue creation and the feedback process, the review process, um, all on the same platform. So it's easier to capture the issues and to communicate that to consultants and to track those issues over the stages of the projects, which results in the well coordinated design. And benefits of using that is that we went from working separately as an organization to working together with our processes overlapping, which has helped us to get the most value out of a BIM model. And as I said, instead of overlapping instead of creating a separate process, try to overlap the processes with the existing ones. So we have tried doing that with this design review workflow, in which we have consultants submitting 3D model and 2D drawings on BIM 360. Once they submit it, our designers review that and creates issues on BIM 360, which are eventually assigned to the consultants. And on BIM 360 itself, they are able to respond to that issue. And this response, the design team and project managers can see the response, they can approve the response or reject the response, and eventually you get the issue status to be open or closed. And based on the criticality of the open issues, you decide the stage of the project, the progress of the project, and based on that, we decide if the project can be moved to next level or not. So this has been very helpful tool for both the project management and the design teams to take those decisions. And how we usually do that is we combine the model walkthroughs and the manual issue creation process. So we let the consultants present their model to the design team. We let them present the areas which has more issues, and where they require the input of client. And another way is that the design teams themselves open the model on BIM 360. The project managers themselves open the model, compare it with the previous version, try to walk through the model, create issues, So we are combining these two processes as a part of the design review. And as you can see, this is the same model that I was showing in the earlier slide. So for this project, for example, we were using a prefabricated unit, which means that this model was fully coordinated with all the disciplines within itself, as well as it was coordinated with the infrastructural road alongside it. So it was so basically this prefabricated unit was put together somewhere in UAE, and they were then shipped to Saudi Arabia, and then they just had to tie in this unit with the existing infrastructure. So the model review process shown earlier helped us a lot to coordinate this tie-in points for these structures, because they were not even made on site. They were prefabricated somewhere else in a different location. So this process proved to be very helpful in having a well coordinated model at the end. About progress reporting and monitoring, again, we are taking data from the BIM models and from the BIM platforms that we are using. So we regularly share this dashboard to the project management team to take the decisions on the project, and it shows them the issues created on the project, um, which shows the progress of the project as well as the status of the project based on the critical issues that are created. And we also combine this data with the clash reports that we receive from consultants. So there is a manual and automated combination of both, which helps the project managers to take decisions. What's next at the Red Sea? So we are trying to improve our design review process more further, and we are trying to bring in the immersive visualization tools to enhance this review process for the design team. And we are also trying to use the augmented reality for site coordination to overlap the model with the existing construction to see the differences. And we are also planning to bring in the drone technology to do the survey of the existing topography as well as the existing construction going on site. Our best to provide the latest available technology to the design and project management team to help them make better design decisions. And we try to continuously innovate our digital delivery approach.
Thank you, Himami. You spoke about the information that and the data management you are doing for Red Sea project. It's a humongous amount of information that you are currently managing. You got a 19650 kite mark certification. Your experience working with different stakeholders from clients, customers, and contractors is something that you spoke a lot, and you showed what exactly we can do in terms of overcoming the existing processes and not creating a new one. That's something we should be looking forward to. The question here is, do we all face resistance in terms of implementing change from management? So that is a discussion we can have in the panel one. Moving forward, I would like to invite Martin Coe. Martin is a BIM practice manager and associate principal at KPF. He is certified architect and fervent tech enthusiast who serves as a member of global leadership at KPF's digital practice team, which is in charge of promoting and supporting the incorporation of technology into digital workflow throughout KPF's office all over the world. Martin has experience working on projects of all dimensions and typologies as an architect and BIM leader, including aviation, super tall, commercial, residential, mixed use, and master plan ski. One of the primary components of any successful BIM project is the ease of fabrication. However, many designers and engineers are overlooking the importance of accurate and precise model during design. It is important for designers to learn and implement new strategies into the work. He will be sharing how learning strategies can help designer. Welcome, Martin.